You know the English words.
You know the grammar. Someone asks you a simple question,
How was your weekend?
and suddenly, nothing.
Your mind goes blank.
Then you start thinking in your own language. You translate the sentence. You check the grammar. You change one word. And by the time you're ready to answer, the conversation has already moved on.
If that sounds familiar, stay with us, because today we're going to show you how to stop building every English sentence through translation and start responding more naturally in English.
And here's the important part. We're not going to tell you just think in English, because if it were that easy, you'd already be doing it.
Exactly. Instead, we're going to practice it together, right here during this podcast.
By the end of this episode, I want you to notice something. Not that your English is suddenly perfect, but that some English sentences appear in your mind without translation.
That's our goal. So don't just listen. Let your brain work with us. Ready?
Let's start. So, Alex, let's talk about that moment, the moment when your mind just goes completely blank. It's such a common experience for English learners.
It really is. That example in the intro, what did you do this weekend, is perfect. It's a simple question, but the pressure to give a good answer can be so high that you just freeze.
Exactly. The learner's brain is trying to do too many things at once. It's searching for the perfect vocabulary, the correct grammar, and the best sentence structure, all while translating from their native language. It's like a mental traffic jam.
Exactly. The focus is on perfection, not connection. The learner's thinking, I need to describe my weekend perfectly. But the person asking the question is just trying to be friendly. They don't want a perfect paragraph. A simple answer is better.
The learner's brain goes into overdrive. Instead of just answering, they're thinking, okay, I need to use the past simple tense. What did I do? I went to the cinema. No, that's too simple. I should add more detail. I went to the cinema with my friends and we saw a new movie. By the time they've constructed this perfect sentence, the moment has passed.
The focus isn't on creating a perfect, long, grammatically flawless sentence. It's about starting the conversation. Just saying pretty good is a success. It keeps the conversation moving.
That's a great point, and it leads perfectly into our next section. We're going to take our listeners through a typical day without translating. We'll give you a situation, and you, our listener, can try to respond in your head or out loud before we give you some natural English responses.
Ready? Let's start with the morning. You've just woken up, you're tired, and you're running late. What are some things you might think to yourself in English? We'll give you a moment.
Okay, what came to mind? Maybe something like, I'm so tired, or I need coffee, or maybe I'm running late, or where are my keys? These are perfect examples of thinking in English. You're not translating a sentence, you're reacting to a situation.
Now, let's go to a coffee shop. You're next in line. The barista says, Hi, what can I get you? How do you order a large coffee?
Okay, what did you say? A simple, natural response is, Can I get a large coffee, please? The barista will probably say, Sure, anything else? To which you can reply, No, that's all, thanks. Let's practice that. Repeat after me. Can I get a large coffee, please? No, that's all, thanks. Notice the useful chunks there. Can I get? Anything else? And that's all. These are chunks you can use in many different situations.
Okay, next situation. You're at work and a colleague asks, Are you busy right now? What are some quick, natural responses you could give?
A little, or not really,
or maybe kind of, or give me a second. All of these are great, natural ways to answer without a long translated sentence.
Now, for our fourth situation, you meet a friend you haven't seen in a while, and they ask, "How have you been?" What are some natural ways to respond?
Pretty good, or busy actually, or maybe not bad, or I've been really busy lately. All of these are great natural responses that keep the conversation flowing.
And for our final situation in this section, let's imagine someone asks, "Do you want to do something this weekend?" How can you respond naturally?
You have several great options. You could say, sure, or sounds good. If you're not sure, you could say, maybe, what did you have in mind? Or, I'm not sure yet. All of these are natural ways to respond without translating a complex sentence. Let's talk about another common trap, trying to translate the perfect sentence. Emma, you see this a lot with learners, right?
All the time. Learners often feel that their English needs to be as complex and formal as their native language, but in reality, natural English is often much simpler. For instance, a learner might try to say, "I have not yet made a final decision about whether I am going to go." It's grammatically correct, but it sounds very unnatural. And how would a native speaker say that, Alex?
Which sounds logical.
Simply, "I haven't decided yet." It's shorter, more natural, and communicates the same idea perfectly.
Here's another example. A learner might try to say, "It is possible that I will arrive later than we originally planned." Again, it's understandable, but a native speaker would likely say,
I might be late. I might be late. Again, it's simple, direct, and perfectly natural. I might be late. I don't have time right now.
It does, and actually, when you're beginning to learn English, translation isn't necessarily bad. It can help you understand new vocabulary and basic structures. But there's a problem.
What's the problem?
Real conversations are fast. You don't have 10 seconds to build every sentence. The translation bridge takes too long to cross.
And that's what causes that awful feeling of freezing in a conversation.
Exactly. It's like your brain is trying to do two big jobs at the same time. First, it's searching for the right words in your memory. Second, it's trying to build a grammatically correct sentence, all while the person in front of you is waiting for an answer.
And that overload causes a kind of traffic jam in your brain. Nothing comes out. It's a horrible feeling.
It really is, and it happens to everyone, even advanced learners. The key is not to panic. When you feel that freeze happening, just use one of our phrases. "Give me a second" or "let me think" are perfect. They give you a moment to breathe and reset. And it's especially true in certain situations. For example, if you're in a shop trying to ask for something, or if you meet a native speaker unexpectedly. The pressure feels much higher. It really is, and it happens to everyone, even advanced learners. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I went into a shop to buy a bottle of water. I knew the words, but when the shopkeeper asked me something I didn't expect, I just froze. I couldn't say anything. It happens to everyone. For me, it used to happen when I was in a shop. The shop assistant would ask me something, my mind would go blank, and I'd just stand there, unable to say a word.
Right. Imagine somebody says, "Do you want some coffee?"
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Do I want coffee? Yes. How do I say yes? What tense do I need?
By then, Alex has already drunk your coffee.
Probably, and I wouldn't even share.
Sure. Or, yes, please. Or maybe, I'd love some.
And that's really important. Fluent speakers don't create every sentence from zero. They use thousands of familiar pieces of language.
Chunks.
Exactly. Chunks of language. Things like, I don't know.
Sounds good.
I'm not sure.
Give me a second.
That makes sense.
Let me think.
And when those phrases become automatic, you don't translate them. You hear a situation and the English response just appears. So let's try something. This is the first change to practice. Stop translating individual words and start thinking in situations. Alex, I'm going to give you a situation.
Okay.
We're deciding where to have dinner. I suggest a new Italian restaurant. You like the idea. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Exactly. Not, that sounds as a good idea to me. Not a complicated translated sentence. Just,
Sounds good.
listener, say it with us. Nice and clear.
Sounds good.
Again?
Sounds good.
Now, imagine your friend says, let's meet at 7. You agree.
Sounds good.
Let's order pizza tonight.
Sounds good.
Let's watch a movie.
Sounds good.
Notice what we're doing. We're connecting the situation directly with English. The situation is a suggestion you like. The response is,
Sounds good. Let's try another one. Someone asks you a question, you don't know the answer. What do you say?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's probably already automatic for many listeners.
And that's proof that you can think in English. You're already doing it.
That's a really good point. If somebody asks, "Where's John?" you probably don't translate a complicated sentence from your language. You just say,
I don't know. So the goal isn't to magically switch your entire brain into English mode overnight. The goal is to make more and more of these English responses automatic.
Here's another technique. When you learn a new word, try connecting it to an image, an action, or a feeling instead of a word in your language.
For example, if I say coffee,
Don't think about the translation of coffee.
right, imagine coffee.
A cup, the smell, the warmth, maybe your kitchen in the morning.
Exactly. Now, rain.
Picture rain, a wet street, an umbrella, the sound it makes on a window.
Okay. Hungry.
Don't translate it. Feel it. You're hungry. You want food.
Tired.
It's late. Your eyes are heavy. You want to sleep.
That's how we want English to start working. English word directly to meaning.
Not English word translation meaning. We want to remove that middle step.
Now, let's build a small collection of phrases you can use constantly. These are your tools.
And listener, don't memorize these like vocabulary for a test. Imagine the situation, feel the situation, then say the phrase.
Okay, first situation, someone tells you something surprising.
Really?
Again,
Really?
Your friend says, I got a new job.
Really?
I met Sarah yesterday.
Really?
Good. Next situation, you need time to answer a question.
Let me think.
Again?
Let me think.
What do you want to do this weekend?
Let me think.
Which one do you prefer?
Let me think. This phrase is especially useful for learners because silence can make you nervous.
Yes, and nervous learners often start translating because they feel pressured to say something perfect.
But let me think gives you time. It signals to the other person that you are processing, and it sounds completely natural.
I'm not sure.
Do you want to go?
I'm not sure.
Is the store open?
I'm not sure.
Will she come tonight?
I'm not sure.
3 words, hundreds of situations, and it's so much better than silence.
I think there's another reason people translate. They want the sentence to be perfect.
Definitely. They're afraid of making a mistake.
Exactly. Let's say somebody asks, "What did you do yesterday?" A learner might think, okay, yesterday, past tense.
I went, how do I say this? Was it to shopping? Was it for shopping?
And suddenly, a simple, friendly conversation becomes a grammar exam.
Exactly. The focus shifts from communication to correction. But imagine you simply say, I went shopping.
Simple, clear.
I met a friend. We had coffee. It was nice.
Simple English can be very good English. In fact, it's often better.
Absolutely. Fluency isn't the ability to create the longest, most complex sentence possible. Fluency is the ability to communicate your ideas without constantly stopping.
Okay, let's put this into a real conversation.
Listener, first just listen. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Don't translate. Just try to understand the general situation.
Hey, Emma, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. I didn't do much, actually.
Really? I thought you were going away.
I was, but we changed our plans.
What happened?
The weather was terrible, so we decided to stay home.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, we ordered some food, watched a movie, and just relaxed.
Sounds good to me.
It was. What about you?
I met some friends on Saturday.
Oh, nice. What did you do?
Nothing special. We had dinner and talked for a few hours.
Sometimes that's the best kind of weekend.
Exactly.
Now, notice something. That conversation wasn't difficult or complex.
And we used several of the phrases we've already practiced. We used really?
Sounds good.
What about you, which is a great way to return a question. And also, nothing special.
These little phrases hold conversations together. They are the glue.
Okay, now it's your turn. We're going to ask you some questions. This time, don't try to create the perfect long answer.
Ready? How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Or not bad. Maybe it was great. Or even, I didn't do much.
Next question. What did you do yesterday?
Keep it simple. I worked. Or I stayed home. Maybe I met a friend. Or I went shopping.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm staying home. Or I'm meeting some friends. Or you could use one of our phrases, I'm not sure yet.
Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Remember our phrase, if you need time to think.
Let me think. Here's a little challenge I'd like listeners to try this week.
The 3-second rule.
When someone asks you a simple question in English, try to begin your answer within 3 seconds.
Not finish it, just begin it. That's an important difference.
Exactly. You don't need the whole sentence ready. Suppose I ask, what are you doing tomorrow? Just start with tomorrow, or I think, or even I'm probably.
Once you've started speaking, your brain often finds the rest. It's like starting a car. That first turn of the key is the hardest part.
But if you wait for the entire perfect sentence to appear, you create pressure, and pressure often leads to.
Translating.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important but often overlooked part of this process, listening. So we have our core tools, using chunks, thinking in situations, and the 3-second rule. These are the foundations for sounding more natural. But what can you do to really accelerate the process, especially when you're practicing on your own?
And there are plenty of these natural expressions you can use to buy yourself thinking time.
Let's practice 5 of them. Repeat after us.
Let me think.
Well,
I'm not sure.
that's a good question.
Give me a second then.
Let's do that again, a little clearer.
Let me think.
Well,
I'm not sure.
that's a good question.
Give me a second.
These aren't meaningless words. They're tools. They keep you inside the English conversation while your brain prepares the real answer.
So what can somebody do when they're alone? They don't have anyone to practice with.
One of my favorite exercises is incredibly simple, and you can do it anytime, anywhere. Describe tiny parts of your day in English inside your head.
For example,
You wake up and you think, I'm tired. You look outside, it's raining. You open the fridge, there's no milk.
a tragedy.
A serious problem. Then you might think, I need coffee, or I'm running late, or where are my keys?
This is great because you're connecting English directly with your real life, with real objects and feelings.
Exactly. Don't try to narrate your entire life like a documentary. That's too much pressure. Start small.
So maybe just 3 or 4 thoughts like this several times a day.
Right. You walk outside, you think, it's cold today. You see traffic, you think, there's a lot of traffic. You're waiting for someone, you think, she's late.
And after enough repetition, those thoughts start appearing automatically in English. You're building the habit.
Here's a mistake I see a lot. A learner wants to express a complicated thought exactly as they would in their own language.
Right. They're trying to find a perfect one-to-one translation for a complex idiom or phrase.
Exactly, but sometimes English would express the same idea much more simply. So instead of asking, how do I translate this sentence?
You should ask,
How can I express this idea in English?
That's a huge difference. It's about the idea, not the exact words.
For example, maybe in your language you want to say something complicated like, I haven't yet reached a final decision concerning whether I will participate.
That sounds painful even for a native English speaker.
Right, you could simply say, I haven't decided yet.
Perfect. Does the job.
Simple, natural, and fast.
let's give listeners some more of these chunks they can start using today.
Good idea. These are your secret weapons for fluency. Repeat them with us.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe later.
It depends.
That's fine.
No problem.
I have no idea.
That makes sense.
Sounds great.
We'll see.
Not yet.
Of course.
Why not?
I hope so.
Me too.
These phrases may look almost too easy, but that's exactly why they're powerful. They don't require heavy thinking.
Okay, let's make this a little faster. A rapid response practice.
We'll give you a situation. You respond immediately with one of the chunks we've learned. Don't translate, just respond. Ready?
Thanks for your help.
No problem.
Do you think it'll rain?
I'm not sure.
Would you like to come with us?
Why not?
Did you finish the report?
Not yet.
I think Sarah is right.
I think so too.
Maybe we should leave early.
That makes sense.
Do you know where Tom is?
I have no idea.
Are you ready?
Give me a second.
Good. If some of those answers appeared automatically in your mind, that's exactly the feeling we're trying to build.
Let's hear these skills inside another conversation. This time, imagine Alex and I are trying to make plans for the weekend.
Are you doing anything tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet. Why?
I was thinking about going downtown.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to come?
Maybe. What time?
Probably around 11.
Let me think.
Too early?
A little. I have a few things to do in the morning.
We could go later.
What about 1?
Sounds good.
Great. Where should we meet?
How about the coffee shop near the station?
Perfect.
Okay, I'll text you tomorrow.
Great. See you then.
Again, a very simple, normal conversation.
but very realistic, and notice how many of the responses were short, automatic chunks. I said, maybe.
Right.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Sounds good. Perfect.
That's real communication. You don't need a grammar masterpiece every time you open your mouth. You need to connect and share ideas.
So let's finish with something practical, a plan. For the next 7 days, we challenge you to try 3 things.
Number 1. Choose 5 English phrases you want to make automatic. Write them down.
Sounds good. I'm not sure. Let me think. That makes sense. I have no idea.
Number 2. Think 3 simple thoughts in English during your day.
Not complicated sentences, just simple observations. Things like, I'm hungry, it's cold, I need to go, I'm tired, where's my phone?
And number 3, when you practice answering questions, start speaking before your sentence is perfect. Use the 3-second rule.
Remember, communication first, perfection comes later. Maybe.
Emma, if someone remembers only one thing from today's episode, what should it be?
Probably this. You don't stop translating by forcing yourself to think in English. That's too big and abstract. You stop translating by making small pieces of English automatic.
I like that. It's a step-by-step process.
One phrase becomes automatic, then another, then a simple sentence structure, and slowly, piece by piece, English starts connecting directly to situations, images, and ideas in your mind.
Until one day somebody asks, "How was your weekend?" And instead of that moment of panic, that search for a translation, you simply say, "Pretty good. What about you?"
And you may not even notice what just happened.
You thought in English?
Before you go, here's your final challenge. Think of one sentence you often translate before saying it in English.
Mm-hmm.
Make it simpler.
And write that new, simpler English sentence in the comments below. It can be very simple. In fact, simple is good.
And if you want to improve your English by actually listening to real, understandable conversations, not just memorizing grammar rules, then subscribe to Make English Easy.
Then come back for the next conversation and practice with us again.
Because English becomes easier when you stop trying to translate every word.
And start using it.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.